The Lakers are taking J.J. Redick from a booth to the bench.
J.J. Redick to become the next coach of the Lakers.
Breaking news, Mavericks are trading Luka Doncic to the Lakers for Anthony Davis.
This was the biggest trade in NBA history.
Doncic, top three. Oh! And immediately turns to the Mavericks bench.
And what a Doncic knocked away. LeBron erases the shot. Minnesota is going to win this series and knock out the Lakers.
He missed wide open threes, missed a couple shots at the rim.
Wow, a blown miss bunny by Luka.
Not something that I ever envisioned after losing the first round.
Shocking here.
Every season that I did not make it to the finals or did not win a championship has been a disappointment. Nothing changes for me.
Hi, this is First Take. I'm Evan Cohen, and we've got Brian Windhorst, Kendrick Perkins, and David Dennis Jr. here to get you all of the NBA news from the weekend. And, of course, we start in Los Angeles. After a postseason that saw the Lakers get bounced in the first round, LeBron James exercised his $52.6 million option for the Lakers next season. But not without some interesting comments by his agent, Rich Paul, as told to our Shams Charania. Quote, LeBron wants to compete for a championship. He knows the Lakers are building for the future. He understands that, but he values a realistic chance of winning it all. We are very appreciative of the partnership that we've had for 8 years with Jeannie Buss and Rob Pelinka, and consider the Lakers as a critical part of his career. We understand the difficulty in winning now while preparing for the future. We do want to evaluate what's best for LeBron at this stage in his life and career. He wants to make every season he has left count. And the Lakers understand that, are supportive of that, and want what's best for him. Windy, your biggest takeaway from these statements are what?
That's a lot of words, and it's not really clear. And Rich Paul said each of them with careful thought. I know, I spoke to him last night, and he basically said them again, reiterating them. Now, if LeBron had just opted into his contract and moved on with the summer, there would not have been a lot of reaction. Opting into his contract is a little bit unusual. He has had 8 different times in his career where he's had a player option or something like a player option in his contract, and he's never opted into it once. He has always either opted out and left, which he did 3 different times to his teams, or he's opted out and started and gotten a new contract. So in and of itself, accepting a player option and going into the last year of his contract is unusual. In fact, never in the 23-year time of his career has LeBron ever been on a contract that's just 1 year. But he's also not the franchise player for a team for the first time starting a season in his career. So if he just opted into his contract, it would have been a little bit different, but we would not have reacted to it. These comments are what we're reacting to. And the thing about it is it implies that LeBron is not settled, that he's not 100% sure he's going to be a Laker. They're clearly left open to that ambiguity. If there's one thing that's clear about Rich's comments, it's that they're ambiguous, and that's all you can say. So the thing about it is that there's only a few ways to leave a team. One way is free agency. LeBron has bypassed it. LeBron could have been a free agent this morning. He has bypassed it. The other way is trade, which is what I'm sure a lot of people reacted to in reading those comments. But I just have to tell you guys, I think it's very unlikely LeBron is traded. Number one, he makes $53 million. It's very hard to trade a contract of that size in today's NBA. Secondly, he has a no-trade clause, which not only means he can determine where he's traded, it means that he can determine what he's traded for. And so it's very unlikely that there is a trade. So I am expecting LeBron to be a Laker next season, but I'm also telling you I don't know what to make of these comments.
Perk?
LeBron ain't going nowhere. LeBron ain't going nowhere. I think because it's a new owner, it was just a message out there. And one, I think it was clarity on Rich Paul's part about him opting in, which got us to this point. But I think also it was a message to the new ownership group that the standards are the same, right? I'm trying to compete for a championship. And as the new owner of the Lakers, the standards should always be that. You're one of the most historic franchises in sports that have built your franchise on winning championships. Also, Rich Paul said, We understand. We understand that you're building for the future. The future is now. Luka Doncic is the future. It is now. He's only 2 years removed from the NBA Finals. You don't think Luka is trying to compete for a championship right now? Yes, absolutely. LeBron James, 45-minute flight to Arizona, where his son Bryce, his youngest son Bryce, is going to school at. Bronny James is still on the team. JJ Redick, who Bron wanted as the coach, is still the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. He will be a Laker. He signed to be, he opted in to be a Laker. So my thing is, to me, it just sounds like a message to the Lakers that the standard is still the same when it comes down to how LeBron James feel, and it's about championships this late in his career. And who's to say he didn't opt in because this might be his last year playing the game of basketball? The man is going to be eligible for his pension in 5 years.
David, there's a lot to...
That's amazingly true.
There's a lot to digest here, okay? So the statement talks about winning a championship. We don't know if the Lakers are a championship-level team. Perk said he's not going anywhere. Windy said it's unlikely that he's not going anywhere. Your reaction to Rich Paul?
Yeah, this is the LeBron-Rich Paul playbook that they've used for his entire career, even before the NBA. I mean, LeBron determines what happens ever since high school, right? And now the playbook is the same, but the game has changed, right? LeBron does not have the leverage that he once had. LeBron and Rich Paul love keeping their organizations on their toes, making them feel like they constantly have to work and add free agents to do whatever they can to win a championship on his watch in his window. The problem is that window isn't there anymore. They're building around Luka. LeBron and Rich Paul, for as long as he's been in the league, tells franchises to jump, and they traditionally say how high. Now with the Lakers, they have to say, we're going to check with Luka first before we see how high we jump. LeBron is unfamiliar for him. And that unfamiliarity creates some of that awkward language that we saw from Rich Paul. They're navigating a new reality that they haven't had to deal with before.
Wendy, technically, LeBron has been traded one time in his career in a sign and trade from Cleveland to Miami. That's very technical. In reality, he has never actually asked out. Is this the closest we've ever seen to LeBron almost asking out?
I understand your question. I don't understand the message from Rich Paul, and I suspect the Lakers don't understand it either. And the reason I suspect that is that the Lakers did not make a statement yesterday. When a player opts into his contract, it is traditional for the team to announce it, even if it's a player farther down the roster. Certainly when it's one of your franchise players, you would announce it. The Lakers made no announcement yesterday. And in fact, I had to check with teams in the league to make sure LeBron actually went through with the process of signing the paperwork to opt in. And that he did. It's all official and everything. But because I wanted to see what the Lakers said about this. Because last year when LeBron signed a contract, the 9th contract of his career, the 3rd contract he signed with the Lakers,